Hey everybody, hey Ken Ma with Trapper Tackle, and you know, it's no secret that we're getting into the spring here, and I'm here to talk about your Trapper Tech Talk of the Week. And as we go into the spring, using soft plastic stick baits is a phenomenal way to not only catch numbers of fish, but also to catch big fish. And for years, I've really rigged the stick baits two ways when we're rigging them wacky style out here. And so one of the ways is to use a 1/0 straight shank hook, just like this, and I take a rubber band and I wrap it around the back side of the stick bait, and then it wraps around the hook. And as you can see, this hook tends to want to turn into the bait, and one of the problems is when you get a bite, it'll then dig into the side of the worm, and then it balls up. It doesn't allow your hook to penetrate. But it is a way, and a way that we've lived with for a while. The second technique or way to rig this stick bait is to use an O-ring into the stick bait, and then this is a circle style hook. It's got a little weed guard, and again, it's a great way. It's a way that we've been using for years and years and years. Some of the issues that we have with that is the small circle hook. Obviously when this bait rolls, it'll tend to roll, and it'll catch over your the gap of your hook. It moves freely up and down the hook for positioning and sliding. Sometimes it slides up the line. Again, it's a good way. It's something that we've been using for years. Well, then enter Trapper and the box. This is the first way that I showed you. The second way is, again, same thing. I used a rubber band to go along the back side of the stick bait, and then I wrapped it around the hook. And what's special about the Trapper box is, if you can see that, it basically holds it in place on the back of that hook. And on this, it is very difficult for it to move or slide away from the way that hook box bends there. And it just holds it really well. The other thing it does when you rig it this way is there's just nothing in the way of this hook. So you can use really light line. You don't have to set the hook really hard. And this sharp needle point, it just starts driving right away. And you don't have to worry about the bait balling up inside of this barbed area, and it really holds that bait against that box extremely, extremely well. Okay, so again, compare and contrast. I do like this for this technique. So the other way, again, I showed you the circle hook at first. I take a 2/0 Trapper, EWG. Same thing. You're going to use an O-ring, and then what you do is you just take it and you're going to hook it right through and under the O-ring, and then out the other side. And what's phenomenal about the Trapper box is it keeps it in this little box, the box area, and it doesn't slide around. It doesn't move. It does have a hard time when it wants to slide up the hook. It's got to go around a 90, and then it's got to go around a bend and get up this way in order for your bait to move away from the hook point. So a lot of times it stays in that hook point where fish will tend to bite the center or the middle of the bait, and then you have, again, nothing that impedes or to ball up inside of this box area. It's just all penetrations, all business. So again, what we have been using with the change and the innovation of Trapper, for some techniques, it's a superior design, for some techniques. So, getting into the spring, grab yourself some stick baits like this big bite trick stick. Grab yourself a couple of Trapper hooks and a couple of O-rings and some nail weights, and join me and go catch some fish. That's your Trapper Tech Talk of the Week.